Good night, everyone. My name is Manuel Mendez. I'm a citizen of Benque Viejo. First off, I'd like to thank the police and everyone who's concerned with crime within the areas. Benque has been known as I was born here and I grew all the time here, as a small and peaceful community. So I'd like to thank everyone that done all the efforts, all the strategy to feel Benqueños more at ease. It's not good and it's not healthy for criminals to hold a society under siege. I also like to ask that we continue to look at all the avenues and all the strategies and all the assistance we can give to the police to keep our community safe and citizens of Benque Viejo at peace and peace of mind. With that said, just let me go back to an incident that happened to me personally on the Calla Creek Road. I was doing some community work for a sick citizen of my community. I was on a pickup truck to pick up some dialysis medication that was being donated from someone in Calla Creek that had passed away, and the husband was left with some surplus of that dialysis medication. So as a good citizen of Benque, I was accompanied with other 5 citizens of my community, and we were on that road from Benque Viejo del Carmen. We had to go not on this side, but we had to go take this Bodily Road to enter that area of Calla Creek. It's a long while I had not been on that road, and I guess a lot of you might not be aware that there is a military checkpoint within that area. I didn't know about it. When we approached, there was a law in the middle of the road. It doesn't say that we stop, it's a military checkpoint. So we did not stop. We just went to the side of the road and we proceeded to go to the village of Calla Creek. There was absolutely no, I would say military personnel out on the roadside. But I saw one of them coming out from the building that they're located, which is not exactly along the roadside, it's a few yards off the roadside. So I saw one of them moving towards our direction, about to cross the law. So we halted and we stopped. And he asked us questions as to where we were going. And we informed him exactly where we were going and what was our mission on that trip to go to Calla Creek. We proceeded, we loaded the medication, and we were on the way out from Calla Creek to pass the same military checkpoint. It's a sad situation, and I don't wish this to happen to no one. As we approached, there were other vehicles ahead of us, but the pickup truck on which we were traveling with the medication now, at the back of the truck, they were targeting us, and they were solely waiting on our truck to pass back the checkpoint. They acted in a way as if we were very high criminals. They were there, seriously. Now it's a bunch of them. I forgot to count how many of them were. They're on both sides of the road with their M16s. 2 of them approach us. I immediately stop, because I see these guys with big guns. So as we reach the log, we stop and we pull on the side of the road. I immediately pull on the side of the road. And I asked him, what is the problem? And he refused to say, first, what was the problem? He just said, I will need to do a body check on you, and I will need to check your motor vehicle. My first question to him was, are you a police officer? he refused to say that he was a police officer. Because nowadays, if you look, some of our police officers are just in camouflage, like our military. So a checkpoint like that, if you're not aware, you might don't know if they're military or police. So I asked them, are you a police officer? And he refused. So I say, I already told you what our mission was, and this is our mission. If you want, go ahead, check the motor vehicles. I don't have no problem with that. But you not being a police officer, I felt that my rights as a allegiance were violated because he has not identified himself as a police checkpoint, and he's going to do a body search on me. I'm no criminal. I didn't have no guns. I didn't have no kind of weapon. I didn't have no drugs with me. But I just felt, as a Belizean, I had that right. So I don't know if I proceeded the right way or if I proceeded the wrong way. But on the long run, I saw that they were trying to hold us back, and I smelled some alcohol when they were speaking with us. So after a little while of back and forth, I say, okay, go ahead. Do what you need to do. After they searched us, they broke apart all these carton boxes where the dialysis medication was on. After they finished what they were doing, I said, you guys can proceed now and go to Benque. I think our rights were violated as Belizeans. I don't know, because they're not police officers, so here we have the experts, maybe they can enlighten us. What should we do in a situation like that? Thank you very much.
The case or the scenario you explained just now is much different than the one that my good friend had explained earlier. I think that the fact that you had just passed through a checkpoint moments earlier and had said to the police what you were going to do should have been sufficient, so that when you return and they should see you, they would have expected that you are coming back from what you said you were going to do. Now, nothing would still be wrong for the police to stop you, just to verify that what you said you were going to do is what you actually did. So, the question you ask is quite legitimate. Are you a police officer? And he have a duty to respond. It is a part of our policy that once you're asked your name and your number by the public, you must give it to the public. So the fact that he refuses to disclose his name shows that he was up to something that would have gone against our policies. If a matter of fact, we have gone to the extent now that we have issued every police officer a name tag. So when a police officer is working, the officer must wear that name tag. So the public don't have to ask you your name. They could just look at your shirt above the, I think, the left pocket, and your name tag should be there. So again, if the officer was not wearing the name tag, then again, that would be another violation. So in a situation like yours, that is something that you surely could have reported to Professional Standard Branch, and if it was an officer who was there, then the officer would have to give account. Now I know that checkpoint do have police and BDF presence, and while yes, the BDF is there, the BDF is not there in a law enforcement capacity. The BDF is there to act in support of the police, and so it is the police who would have that law enforcement authority to request you of a driver's license or to ask you whatever question that they may need to ask. So I don't know how long ago that was, but that is something that you could have surely reported to the police, and we will look into it for sure.